Okay, today I'm going to change out the tail lights on this 2007 BMW X5 E70. So the tail lights are actually pretty good. They're not broken or anything, but they have typical wear, and they're starting to separate a little bit, and they're starting to get grime inside and everything. And we were able to find some good quality upgrades, LCI models. So let me show you what we have there. So these are the lights that we were able to find used, and they're in pretty decent condition. So I'm going to be swapping these out. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is start taking the panels apart. And as you can see, I've already started. I took the top centerpiece out already. It was actually very easy. 2 bolts, 2 screws. They're right over here. Inside the handle parts, there, that hole you see, that's where they are. So here are the tools that I've used so far. I say so far because I don't think I'm going to need anything else, but you never know. Flatten a Phillips screwdriver, a 1/4 inch 8mm and a 1/4 inch 10mm, 1/4 inch ratchet, and the screws I took out, and then these plastic tabs. So let me get started and show you what I did so far. So over here, and there's an access panel. This is on the passenger side. You're just able to pull that out like this, and you can just take it right out and set it aside. And then on the other side, let me see if I can make room over here. There's the same access panel that you can see right there, and you can do the same thing with that one. Just yank it out and lift it out and put it away. Once you do that, you're going to have access. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the car. Okay, now that I've got those two, the center panel out of the car, you can see, and I've got the 2 access panels out. On the little driver's side, you're going to see 3 bolts, or 3 nuts actually. One right there. There's another one here. There's another one in there. And then the same thing's happening on the passenger side. There is a panel I forgot to tell you about. So there's like a little blanket type of thing, and it comes out. It's 2 plastic rivets inside. Let me see if I can show them to you real quick. It's going to be hard to see. It's really dark in there. So I'm not, yeah, I don't think I can show them, but there's 2 rivets in here. They're way up in there, and you kind of just have to take the tabs out of the rivets first. So here are those tabs that were in there, and they were inside each one of these like this. See? So you have to kind of pry them out first, and once you get them out, you're left with the second part of the rivet back there, and then you can just pull it out. Be careful not to drop it inside all that. It'll be easier. Okay. So once I got that out of the way, now you can see the light again. Same thing. You've got the 3 nuts that are there. I've already removed 2 of them, that's why you don't see them, but that bottom one's there, and then the other 2 I've already removed. So I just wanted to make this easier for me. Right, so once I get that last nut out, which is right over here, I should be able to pull the light right out. And the other thing is there's electrical connectors. They're pretty easy to take out. You just kind of pinch the tab and then pull it out. On both sides it's the same thing. Now up here, once you get those 2 screws out, there's also these little lights that you can pry out, and you'll notice at the bottom of each light there's like a little crack where you can put a flat screwdriver in. Like it'll be right there, and you pop it out and the light just comes out. Just be careful, you don't want to break any of these old plastic tabs, but it came out pretty easy for me. And then once I got both of these lights out, what I was able to do, they were kind of dangling just like that, and then when I pulled the centerpiece out, I kind of just wiggled them through the hole, and that was it. That was pretty much the easiest part to do. It wasn't that difficult at all. And then the centerpiece goes under here, so you'll kind of want to just wiggle this out and get it out. One of mine was already broken, so it was easy. All right, so that's how you get all that dismantled to get started. Now for the center lights, there's actually only 1 nut, and it's going to be a 10mm on the old lights, and oddly enough on the new lights, for the center lights, it's 8mm. So, but you'll need a 10 millimeter socket for this. So my understanding is once you get that nut out, the light should actually just wiggle right out. I didn't really have to take this centerpiece out, but from what I see is it's difficult to get to. You need some kind of like a universal joint or a wobble joint to get to it. And I figured it'll be easier to put back in this way too. So that's why I just went ahead and took that out. But if you take the two light sections out, you can get to that nut, but you have to kind of use a universal joint or something. Okay, so I've got the two plastic tabs that go with the nut on both the center lights out now. So you notice there it's gone. You notice there it's gone. So I should be able to pull the light out. So to pull this light out, it should be as simple as just pry it up. But what I'm finding is they, from the factory, it looks like they've used something like butyl tape or some kind of a gasket that's like disintegrated and sticking now. But it's not that bad, but you can see it stretching there, see it? So I'm just gonna go ahead and slowly pry and pull that out. Okay, I was able to get the passenger side light out. I forgot to mention you have the same adapter here, electrical connector that you need to take out. It's the same thing, it pinches. This one was a little tight, so you just may have to use a screwdriver to kind of push the tab in a little bit and wiggle it out, but you can work it out. Okay, so the passenger side came out fairly easily with my fingers, but the driver's side's proving to be a little more difficult. So what I decided to do is just go get one of my plastic pry tools, and I'm slowly working it so I don't damage it. And see, you can see where I'm getting in behind it. The light's already kind of degraded, so the glue between the light and the actual housing, the clear lens and the housing, is just kind of giving way, but I'm just slowly working it. So, but now that I've got it started, I think I'll probably be able to work it with my fingers. It's kind of hard to do with one hand holding it. So, but this is what I'm ending up having to do. Okay, here's the amount of butyl tape material that I was able to get out. I was able to just pretty much pull it out with my hand and also with the plastic pry tool. I just kind of scraped it off the edges. So now I'm just going to clean the cavity where the lights go, and I'm going to take the other two lights out. Here's what it looks like after I took the butyl material out. It's just like sticky tape type of stuff. It's starting to rain, so I'm going to see how much I can get done here. If not, I'll just cover everything up and then come back at it later. Okay, this will make life a lot easier. For the side lights, the 8 millimeter nuts I told you we need to take out, rather than using the extended socket, you want to use the short one, and that'll make life a lot easier to get into in there. Okay, all 6 nuts are out, so the lights are ready to come out. I'll take them out shortly. Okay, I've got all the lights out and all the cavities are nice and clean. Gave it a nice clean. Ready to put the new lights in. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the new lights came with a 8 millimeter nut instead of the 10 millimeter that came off the old ones, so I'm just going to use those. I'm pretty sure if the lights didn't come with them, I could have used the old ones, but at this point, I'll use what I have that came with it. Light actually goes in pretty easily. I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed, but I may not be able to. But you just basically just slide it in to the edge of the door. So as you can see up there, like I'm just going to slide it in like that where the light is, and then go from there. Let me see if I can do it. All right, so the light's going to get slid in from the side over here. So you have these hooks on the back of the light right there. You're going to get into the door like that. And once, well, the door's moving on me, but anyway, once it's in, it should be able to, it should just go in. And it didn't because I'm doing it one-handed. There we go, let's try it again. And it's in. It's really that simple. Now I just have to hold it and then put the nut on the back, the whole plastic clip that holds it, and just tightens up. All right, the 2 center lights are in. They're nice and snug, plugged in, everything's good to go. I haven't put the trim in the back of the door yet because I want to make sure I test the lights before I do that. But these are ready to go. Time to put the corners in. Okay, the passenger corner light is in. It was very uneventful. It went in real easily. Just have to make sure you take the nuts off the back of the new light because They're probably there from the guy that sold it to you, or they're there from the factory if you bought new lights. Anyway, just take those out, and then there is a small, like a dowel that you have to slide the light into. It's easy. If you guide, that's like a guiding dowel. So if you guide it there, everything just fits perfectly. All 3 holes match up and everything works. Okay, once again, this is the tool that I used to put the corner lights back in. You do not need the long socket, the deep well. You just need the regular one. And you want to be extra careful when you're in here. Remember, this is plastic, so when you tighten these down, don't overdo it. Just get them finger tight and then a little bit more, and you should be good to go. And then don't forget to put the electrical connector in. That's kind of important. Just make sure it clicks nice and doesn't come out, and we're good. Okay, so the lights are all working. No issues at all. Look really nice. And I did have the warning light on the dash with the light bulb in the center. And it has now gone just to the warning indicator, as you can see, but it is clearly complaining that the light bulb is out even though they're not out, and that's common with these, so we're going to be working on that. Okay, also, as I mentioned earlier, there's this protective mat that's here that I need to put back, and it is very difficult to show you where it goes, but there's a couple of holes in here. They're way up in there, and let's see if the camera's just not going to pick it up. Anyway, they go in there, and once they fit in, you just kind of push the plastic tab in. These two tabs will go into the holes, and then once they're in and fit, I'll just punch these through, and that'll hold them in. Okay, so the car's complaining, and then when you shut it off, you'll see that, and that's the bulb telling you that there's a bulb out. Okay, about to put this rear hatch panel back in, and notice these little plastic clips. They're similar to the ones that are on the door panels, and I happen to have a bunch of them from my last junkyard trip, so I'm gonna go see if I can grab those. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4 missing, and that's likely along with the part that there's one piece that's broken on this side. Probably it's not here. It's actually, the piece is broken in here, and that has a plastic tab missing. So that's likely the reason for my rattles. So I'm gonna go see if I can fix that while I'm here. Okay, reinstalling the plastic cover on the back hatch was also more or less uneventful. Kind of hard to do. Not hard, just a little tedious to do one-handed, or one person, 2 hands. Kind of just get these lights fished through first, the 2 lights, and then there's a center latch that you fish through, and this kind of helps hold it in place if you have to dangle it from there. But having those pins replaced helped, because I could just get them guided in, push those in real quick. That was nice, so that held it. And then finally I just put the 2 screws in, that one and that one, and as long as you have everything lined up, those screws go in perfectly, so it's easy to do. And once you have that done, you're pretty much done. It's just time to put the lights back in, and they just snap into place, I think. Let me see. Again, hard to do one-handed, but give it a shot here. Backwards. Let me see. Maybe it's this way. There we go. And snap them in. That one's done. The other one should be pretty much straightforward. There's 2 tabs. They go into those 2 holes. Again, a lot easier to do 2 hands. Snapped in. Okay, everything's back in, and just to recap, the only tools I really needed was a 1/4-inch ratchet with a 8mm short socket, a 8mm deep well for the side pieces. I'm sorry, the center lights, and then the 10mm deep well to take the old center lights out, but did not need them for the new center lights. Needed a flat screwdriver to get these little light things out. You can see the little mark right there where the screwdriver goes in. And then Needed the Phillips screwdriver, obviously, for the 2 screws. And that's pretty much it. Okay, we were able to go ahead and clear the error code for the taillight bulb out by using Pro Tool. We use Pro Tool, or there's also NCS Expert, and there's some various other ones out there that you could use. We'll put some data in the comments for what we know, but you can also, you know, take it to a local shop to have the code removed, or dealer, but they'll cost a lot more. So, but it's worth it. It's really not that big a deal. Pro Tool works pretty well for us. It's a little expensive to buy, but we use it a lot, so it's worth it. And there we have it. Easily done, not too bad at all. Lights look beautiful. They're old, but they look a lot better than they did, and it's the newer style. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps. Have a good day.